Hello and welcome to Love Audio's YouTube channel. My name is Paul Webber. Great to be here today, and it's great to have you along this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whatever it might be where you are, of course. Then it's great to have you here, especially if you're new. And make sure you type new in the comments, and make sure you give the video a big thumbs up if you are enjoying tonight's program. Now, what is Love Audio production all about, first of all? Well, it's a safe, fun, friendly, and hopefully entertaining and informative platform for you to learn the basics in audio production. So if you guys are on board with that, let's get going. Love Audio! Fabulous. And Rich Vibes already in the house, joining us. Thank you very much indeed, Rich. Hope you are well. Great to see you here again. Thank you very much indeed. Great Sunday night stream, by the way. So, yeah, excellent. And also, I think Mixcloud has got a little better. When you navigate on your phone, if you navigate away from Mixcloud, it stops the stream for me. Anyway, obviously not your end, but it does at my end. But now I think they've changed that, so I can navigate away from it, look at emails and stuff like that, and still listen to the music, which is a bonus, really, because you know, busy lives and everything. You're trying to do half a dozen things at once. So it's great that I can do that. I can navigate away from it, and it doesn't actually cut off the stream, which is cool. So yeah, good to have you along, Rich. Tonight, as you may have gathered from the thumbnail that I posted up earlier on, we're testing the BEHRINGER C-1, which is the condenser mic, very affordable condenser mic, by the way. Yeah, here it is in its box. Pretty nice looking microphone, if I may say so. Going to be testing it out for the purposes of live streaming, because I know a lot of people like this one as a cheap alternative to others on the market for live streaming. So we're going to have a test of that very, very shortly indeed. So if you have any questions about tonight's show, then make sure you drop them in the comments. This is a condenser mic, studio condenser mic, so it's going to need phantom power. So we're going to be putting it through the BEHRINGER preamp and giving it 48 volts so that it actually works. And when it does, that red light on the front of the microphone will illuminate. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's been pretty busy on the online kind of streaming front. I was on a call earlier on with a lot of people from America and the Philippines and all that kind of stuff as well. So that went really well, and it's only just kind of finished. So I've just kind of cleared up after that, and then I got the stream ready for tonight, which is pretty cool. Just whilst we're here, might as well let you know about the website. If you want to go and have a look at that, it's loveaudio.co.uk, and make sure you give that a look as well. Merchandise you can find at spring.com and look for Love Audio's merch store. And also a brand new slide for you. This is the other website that I've just launched, which is Love Audio Bits. That's where I sell all the audio products that we try and review on the stream. So that's over at loveaudiobits.co.uk. Make sure you head on over there and take a look at the online shop, which is pretty cool. And hopefully the microphone that we're featuring tonight will already be up there. Fingers crossed. Because I did ask my web designer to put it up there, and I gave him a load of photos and blurb and stuff to go with it. And it's only retailing for £31, which is pretty cool, I reckon, for a condenser mic. So without further ado, let's get out of the box and let's try it, shall we? Now, what you get actually when you do open the box is, you guessed it, another box. So, and there's the manual. Make sure you read the manual of these things, because don't forget that's going to give you instructions on the 48 volt phantom power supply, by the way. So we'll leave that to one side, and then the box within the box. It's quite a sturdy microphone holding box. It's got the logo on there as well, BEHRINGER logo, which is pretty cool. And it's made of sturdy plastic, so it's going to keep your microphone safe if you have to transport it anywhere for any length of time, okay? It also comes with an alternative spigot like that, so if you're going from a different connection on your microphone stand, for instance, that will help you to connect it to something different. But we don't actually need that tonight, because I think this one should, with any luck, put that down there for a second, this should fit onto this particular microphone stand. I'm just going to gently wind that round without trying to cross the thread pull. Hang on, already done that, haven't I? Here we are. Try this. So if I do this very carefully, and you'll notice that this has got an angled kind of microphone holder as well. Hang on, this is not working well. It's a plastic thing that I'm using here. Hang on a sec. Going to do it? Let's try something else. I'm going to try something else a minute. Hang on. Let's take that off of there. And then let's take this off of here. Might be a little easier to navigate. So let's do this first, because I'm not going to cross the thread then. So gently putting that into there like that. That's a lot better. Okay. Good evening, Brulafu. Brulafu in the house. Bruce Cameron, thank you very much for joining, Bruce. Hope you're well. Just testing the Behringer C-1 microphone. I'm just putting it onto this stand here. Wind that round. Again, without crossing the thread, hopefully. That's better. Wind that round, like so. Okay, and you'll notice that this particular holder, you can actually angle like that as well. And you might need to tighten it up with a screwdriver, etc. But yeah, it's a pretty good stand. Hopefully, it will stay where it is. And we want to be able to look at the nice bit there as a C front. That's the front, of course. So we're going to have the front facing towards me. That makes perfect sense, of course. And I'm going to drop that down on the microphone stand slightly, so it's not quite so tall. And we're going to have about there, I think, will probably be about right. There we go. So that's that. That's not going to stay there, is it? Right. Let me just get a screwdriver. Stay there a sec. That's an interesting design. Nice looking mic. Yeah, it's good. Just tighten that up ever so slightly so it's not falling down on me. Okay, try that. That's about right there, I think, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring this over here so you can hear me again. Yeah, so Bruce says that's an interesting design. Nice looking mic. It is a nice looking piece of kit. And you know, for £31, you can get yourself a decent microphone, and hopefully it's going to be beneficial for live streamers. So I'm just going to plug the the XLR cable into the bottom, making sure it's got a nice connection. And then on the preamp below the desk here, I'm going to press the phantom power supply, and I'll show you the light that will light up when the power is to the microphone. Okay, 2 seconds. Power. Okay, that's lit up now. Turn that around, I'll show you. So that should be lit up. I don't really see that, but if I zoom in slightly, you'll be able to see that. Give me 2 seconds, hang on. There we go. So that's the light showing that it's got 48 volts phantom power lit up there on the microphone, okay? There we go. So, without further ado, we're going to turn it around again. So it's facing me, and it's just about there, which is cool. And again, like we did last time, I'm going to mute the microphone I'm talking to you on, okay? And I'm going to unmute the one that this is doing here, all right? So I can hear that in my headphones. I'm just going to unmute it on the desk and then mute the other one, okay? So go to there and there. One, two, three, four, five. So I can't hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Right. So that's wow. That's really clear. That's really nice and clear. Don't forget, it's not got a windshield on it yet at all. Okay. But if you're listening, Bruce says, I've been away for 30 minutes hunting through a kitchen drawer for a screwdriver. Well, luckily I found one in a pot of stationery products just behind me here, Bruce. So it wasn't too far away. But you know what? Listening to this microphone, let's give it a real kind of test here. So, you know, I'm quite close to the thing now, and don't forget, I've got exactly the same settings on it as I have with this microphone. Okay, I've literally duplicated the settings on the desk, and I actually think that sounds really, really good. I have to say, it sounds really clear, and it's not picking up too much on my pop. You know, I mean, obviously it is because I've got no pop shield on there, but it's a great sounding mic. For $31, I don't think you can go wrong with that. That's a really, really good sound. It's nice and crisp. You know, if I compare that really briefly, 2 seconds, I'm going to unmute. Let's have a look here on the main mix here. So I unmute that, and then unmute that. That's the microphone. And watching my house TV sounds very, very good. Yeah, this is the microphone I currently use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to go ahead and mute that now. And then I'm going to unmute this one, which is the new microphone that we haven't, we're kind of putting it through its test, through its paces. So, this is the, Bruce says he's impressed for £31. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. And, if you're looking for a microphone that you want to do live streaming with, then you cannot go wrong with this. It just sounds amazing, I think, for the money. Just really, really good. I'm going to try and put the windshield on it now, see what difference that makes. Bruce says slightly more bass maybe in the new one. Yeah, you're right. This is more top end. I agree with you. The frequency range of this one is, as far as I remember from the manual, which is here, I think it's 20 hertz, which is the lower end, up to about 25 kilohertz. Let me just check that so I'm not whistling Dixie here. Hang on. So the range is, oh no, beg your pardon, the response, the frequency response here is 40 hertz. That's your bottom end. So 40 hertz up to 20 kilohertz. So I think this one's got a lower bottom end, so that's probably more like 20 hertz instead of 40 hertz, and that's the lowest end. That's where your bass notes are. Okay, 136 dB, nominal impedance 100 ohms. Load impedance is less than, or no, more than, greater than 1 kilo ohm. And supply voltage, anything between 36 and 52 volts. So we've got 48 phantom power supply coming from the preamp below. Okay, so I'm going to put the windshield on this now. Like so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, that's cutting down any pops or anything like that. So the pop shield is now on, and it would give you slightly more bass notes than you would have had without it. So just bear that in mind. If you're going to put a windshield on it, you will tend to get that bass response better than you would with the open diaphragm, in front of you like that with no windshield on it. Okay, just bear that in mind. But I reckon that's a pretty good mic. I could turn the volume up a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be peaking at your end. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice sounding microphone. I'm just turning the volume up in my headphones so I can hear it a little clearer. And, I think that's really, really good. Yeah, really, really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's starting to tilt, isn't it? Sorry. I could see it going. There you go. I definitely recommend this one. Yeah, for sure. I think it's, like I say, I think it's a really good value microphone. There we go. Definitely recommend this one. Yeah. And like Bruce says, listening on your house TV, you can hear that difference in sound, which is really cool. Let's select that. It's got a gate across it, so if I turn the gate off on the desk, hang on, that's wrong. Let's go there. So that's with the gate off, and you're hearing all the background hiss. So it does pick up quite a lot of hiss. So I put the gate across it deliberately. Wow. So that's the sound of the room. And when you put the gate on, hang on a second. Sorry. 1 second. Turn that off. Go to that one. And put the gate back on. You can hear that cuts down that background noise straight away. So yeah, I've got a gate across it. So that's cutting down all of that kind of background hiss and noise that you can hear from the room and from my fridge, which is on currently. And that kind of kicks in now and again. The fan from the computer you can probably pick up as well if the gate wasn't on, that kind of thing. So, always bear that in mind, that when you set up a microphone, before you do any EQ or compression or anything like that, have it low down first of all, and then yes, it is a beer fridge. How did you guess? And can you see it from here? I don't know if you can see it. I've probably got the banner in the way, but it's back there, Bruce, behind the banner. Just over the other side of that plant, just there, and behind the pull-up banner there behind me. It is a beer fridge, and it's got like the front of it. It's got a sticker on it which looks like a guitar amp. So I deliberately wanted that for the shop, and it's already created quite a stir. And I'm tempted to put half of a jack plug sticking out of it with a cable coming out, just to fool everybody. But I love the sound of this microphone, and I think I might, just invest in one just as a spare, alongside the Marshall that I use currently. So I don't think that's a bad sounding mic, to be perfectly honest with you. It's called the BEHRINGER C-1. Like I say, comes with that case. Doesn't come with a cable though. I'm really surprised that they haven't stuck a cable in there. But you know what? For the price, I guess you can add a £7 or £8 cable and you're good to go, sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. And like I say, it comes with this adapter. So if you're putting it onto a different sized stand, maybe metric or imperial or whatever, it comes with that. So you can change the screw thread of the adapter underneath the holder of the mic. What's it doing? That's my only criticism of it is that this thing does not stay where it's supposed to stay. Maybe if I did that, that would be better, wouldn't it? But I'd have to hang on. You can hear that mid-range. That's me tapping the microphone stand. What other uses could you use this mic for? Voiceover work. If you're looking to get into voiceover for the very first time, you could set this up with your computer and some decent software, some DAW software, digital audio workstation. You could definitely use this for voiceover. So, I mean, I've got an agency from London inquired about studio hire today. Interestingly, they were going to send a voiceover artist from Exeter, but they thought I still lived in Crediton because I hadn't updated a certain website that they visited. For references. But anyway, so I didn't really get that contract, but having said that, they said they're going to keep me on file for future reference, which is brilliant. And so, what other uses? Yeah, voiceover work. You can use this for recording in a studio, but bear in mind, if you're going to use it out on the road, it's going to pick up a lot of background noise unless you put that gate across it. So that's the only thing I would suggest is, as soon as you turn the gate off, oh, what have I done? Hang on, that's the EQ. So I've turned the EQ off as well. Back on there now. EQ off, EQ on, EQ off, EQ on. So I've got a little bit of sparkle on there as well, as you can tell. And the compression rather, I've just turned that off, and there's really not a great deal of difference. The compressor's not really working that hard, which is great. In a second, sorry, just messing around with the desk here. But if I open up the gate, that picks up a lot of background noise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And it's picking up noise from the computer, which is just below here. Hang on, if I bring that right down, you could probably hear that a bit more. But then, there we go, bring that up to about there again. So, you're looking at mic positioning as well. So let's take this off. So the front of the diaphragm is right here where my finger is, this side of the microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the closer you get, the more sound it's going to pick up from your voice. So you have to lower your voice because you don't want to shout, because otherwise you're going to be peaking at the other end, that kind of thing. Okay. So Bruce saying, I hope it's a beer fridge. Yes, it is a beer fridge. Well done. What other uses can you use the microphone for, he's saying. And like I say, this could be used for, if you were singing and everything else, and that would be fine. That would be great. I don't have any effects on this channel, so give me 2 seconds. Let me try and work that out. Mixing effects. That's all fine. Let's go back there. User. Tascam. FA. Let's go sending there. 1, 2. There you go. Can you hear that? So FXB, send some of that as well. FXB. FXC, send some of that as well. 1, 2. And then D. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's all we want now, which is great. So mix masters, user, main. 1, 2. Okay. So that's nearly every echo and thing on here on the desk. Going through the microphone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's this one, sorry. I'm going to talk into this one for some strange reason. Have I muted that? No, there we go. Okay. That's now muted. So it was picking up both of us. So that might have caused a crossover, but well, hopefully it hasn't. So, yeah, so you're singing away into the microphone. And bearing in mind there's no gate on it. So let's put the gate on. Okay. Now, as you've heard me mention before, a gate is just like a gate in a field. It lets things through, but then you shut it to not let things through, like cattle and stuff like that. So this is an example of the microphone itself going through the echo chamber or the feedback, the reverb, things like that on the mixing desk. Doesn't sound too bad at all. 1, 2, 3. And it's nice and clear as well. The clarity is unbelievable on this, considering it's a 31-pound microphone. Incredible. So, if I was doing a voiceover, for instance, it would be, Welcome to Love Audio's YouTube channel. My name is Paul Webber. It's great to have you along this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever in the world you're watching this from. Do let me know in the comments, especially if you're new here. That's exactly what it says, because that's my intro. Yeah, let's mute those, and then we're back to square one. So this is the dry, what you call a dry voiceover. So no effects, nothing on the channel that's going to interfere with that, which is pretty cool. But you can just press a button and add something if you want. So a little bit of reverb there, or a little bit of, that's a kind of metallic sound you can hear going on. That's on the settings, like a spring reverb, but it's very, very close. There's hardly any delay on it. And then you've got C, which it sounds like it's in a bathroom. And then you've got D, which is a flip-flop stereo delay. Like that. Bruce says, I'd love to learn more about gates, compression, etc. Well, you're in the right place, sir. And we can do a whole series on that and show you the desk and everything else. But yeah, let's turn that off because it's really annoying now. Yeah, no, you're in the right place, absolutely. And Bruce says, I've always liked Behringer. They sometimes get stick for ripping off other big names, but they are definitely bang for the buck. I tell you what, I used to have Behringer PA speakers on my disco set, and they were great for a really, really long time. Then I've kind of sold them on and then upgraded to Electro Voice, which is what I use now. And yeah, it's in fact, hang on a second. I've got, I wonder if that's going to work, is it? It's in the wrong place, but you know what I mean. I created this overlay for, look, you can see that just about. There we go. It's going to go away, hopefully. Like now? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, I had Behringer PA speakers for ages, and then sold them on, and I've got Electro Voice now. But I've also got a Behringer preamp. So this is a Behringer product going through a Behringer preamp. So that's bound to help, because they kind of, they just know each other. Yeah, hi, I'm Behringer. Yes, so am I. Okay, cool. So that's pretty good. But I think for the money, you cannot go wrong with this sound. It sounds really crisp, really clear. You can get really up close to it. It's not going to pop too much, and even without the pop shield on it, it's still pretty good. So it's actually cutting down a lot of that. That kind of knocking sound that you get when you say the word P or F across the diaphragm. You're going to get that as a pop, if you will. That's what it sounds like. That's why we call it a pop shield. So we stick that on it, which is the branded muff, but it's using the old logo. I will get it replaced, but they're not cheap, so you'll have to wait for a while for that one. And that sounds really good. And I might add a little bit more bass to it if I was going to use it a lot, because it's got a lot of mid-range, which is nice and clear. There's clarity there for sure. But then, but what you're getting is a lot of top end and mid. You don't get a lot of those lower end sounds that you might get. Okay. Bruce says, yeah, perfect for those starting out in streaming. Absolutely. And, I run podcast courses and things, and this is a microphone that I would definitely recommend for podcasting, because you can, in the software that you put it through, you can adjust the levels of everything that's going into it, from this microphone. But, like I say, bang for buck, absolutely, 100%. I would thoroughly recommend this for live streaming, for voiceover work, for studio work, for recording, that kind of thing. I'd love to be able to try it as a source for recording a guitar. So put this really close to the guitar, what the hell do you call it? Where you play the guitar, where you strum the strings. What the heck's it called? The hole, the thing on an acoustic guitar. What's it called? What the heck is it called? I have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, I'd like to be able to try that next to the guitar thing with a hole in it, and then get a separate one for the voice, for the singing. and then make sure there's no phasing issues there. So you play around with that, and if there's any phasing, there's an anti-phase button on the desk which you can use to cancel each other out. What it means is then they're not listening to each other and then fighting for the same airspace, if you will, in the mix. So you can cancel one out of the other, and it would still pick up the noise, but you're not going to get that phasing issue with one microphone picking up two sources. Pretty good stuff, I think. So yeah, it's just a short stream tonight, just a half an hour one, and slightly later than advertised, of course, because I was busy doing other things on other groups, and that won't happen all the time, but certainly when it does, I just put the stream back an hour, and hopefully you guys can join me, which is really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to visit the website. So that's loveaudiobits.co.uk. That's got the product on it, which is Brill. Loveaudio.co.uk is my main website, as you know. And then merch, of course, you can find at spring.com and look for Love Audio Merch Store. Bruce says, perfect time for me. Well, there we go. I'm not going to change it to 9 o'clock all the time, Bruce, but hopefully you'll be able to join me whenever you can. And that's all that matters. That really helps the channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do as well. And click that bell icon, and that'll let you know when we're going live next, which is generally 8 p.m. British summertime. That'll obviously change at the end of October when the clocks go back. But certainly for the time being, it's British summertime at 8 p.m. And I think that relates to 7654, 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 noon Pacific, if you're in America, and various other time zones around the world. So I want to say thank you very much indeed for watching. And yeah, do keep in touch if you can. Just trying to look for the buttons that I need. Hang on. That's okay. Does this work? Yes, it does. All right. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for watching, like I say. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments if you're watching this on the replay. Thanks so much for watching. You've been watching a test of the Behringer C-1 condenser microphone, okay? And it's been a real pleasure. And I do, this is the one I'm talking into right now. So I do recommend it, thoroughly recommend it. That's with the windshield off. So, it's crystal clear. It's got that depth as well, if you need that bottom end. And there's no windshield on it now, so you get that clarity. Whereas this is kind of masking a lot of that clarity because it's quite a thick, windshield. It's quite padded, so that really is going to cut down a lot of the noise that you could get. And also, as I mentioned, there's a gate across it on the desk that's stopping any background noise and hiss coming through it as well, which is brilliant. But I think that's perfect, absolutely perfect. I love it. All right, guys, catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Just in time, JV. Where were you? Thank you very much. I should put it back to there, shouldn't I? We're still streaming. No, you put the phone down first. No, you put the phone down first. No, you put the phone down first. No, go on. No, you do it. Okay. I'll put the phone down first. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. See you soon. After show party. Now that's an idea. What should we do, Bruce? What should we talk about? I mean, I'm happy to hang out for a little bit longer, but I didn't want to rabbit on for hours talking about the same microphone for another 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, I'm happy to copyright 2021, all rights reserved. Oh, customer calls, LOL. I like it. Now listen, you're keeping me up too late. I've got to go. It's like, what is it now? 9:30? Oh, actually, that's quite early. But the pub I normally go to is closed now. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that. If I run, I could catch last orders. What? What beers are in the fridge? There aren't any beers in the fridge. I've got some orange juice. I've got some water. I've got milk for my tea and coffee, and a Snickers bar. That's pretty much it. Apparently, my stream's current bit rate of 25.58 kilobits per second is lower than the thing. But there we are. Last call. If I dash, I might make it, but it's 9:35, so it's unlikely. But yeah, never mind. I was hoping to make it. I'll go tomorrow night. It's fine. That's it, guys. Don't let me roll the credits again. All right.